All right, guys, so we got to talk about the Antonio Brown situation once again because Shannon Sharpe, right? Woke Shannon Sharpe, Uncle Shay, he came out here and actually gave a take that I agree with, a not woke take, right? That, you know, if he would give more often on his show, I probably will watch it, right? Because this take right here was probably one of his best. But before we get into the not woke take that Shannon Sharpe said on Undisputed that I agree with, I have to give you an update on the Antonio Brown situation so that everybody kind of understands where we're at, right? All you guys remember Antonio Brown walking off the field in the middle of the game that the Bucs had last week with the Jets, right? Everybody remembers that. It was super controversial because the dude essentially quit on his team in the middle of the game, right? We have not quite seen anything like that, right? From the NFL, okay? Now, Antonio Brown, his side of the story is that the Bucs and the head coach, Bruce Arians, tried to make him play on an injured ankle, okay? Tried to make him play on an injured ankle, and he didn't want to go into the game because he didn't want to risk injuring himself further. He said he could not play through the excruciating pain, right? That's what he said in his statement after the game, even though he was seen jumping up and down as he was walking off the field and quitting and jogging and doing all types of things on an ankle that suggests that it wasn't hurt all that bad. But anyways, Bruce Arians is saying that Antonio Brown, he was actually mad because he wasn't getting enough targets in the game. Now, Antonio Brown is on an incentive-laden contract. Okay, so essentially, Antonio Brown is upset, according to Bruce Arians, because they had him out there playing in the game, but not necessarily getting the targets that he needs in order to satisfy the contract requirements, in order for him to get paid more, right? To get his bonuses, right? So Antonio Brown's, man, I ain't going out there and playing. I ain't blocking for you. I ain't blocking for y'all, right? On this injured ankle and not get paid for it, right? Not get my incentives. So y'all ain't throwing me the football, right? That's essentially Bruce Arians' version of why Antonio Brown was actually upset. Now, Bruce Arians also said that all of the Bucs, the players on the team, were aware of why Antonio Brown was actually upset because he was outspoken about him not being targeted during halftime, right? And that spilled over onto the sidelines that we all saw on national TV. Okay, so what Bruce Arians is saying, that everybody in that locker room knows why Antonio Brown was actually upset. And Antonio Brown never mentioned anything about his ankle being injured during the game. And he didn't follow protocols that players normally follow when you do have an injury that you need to get checked out. Okay, even though Bruce Arians says he was aware that he had an injury, he just wasn't really complaining about the injury during the game. He was actually really complaining about not getting enough targets. But despite all this, the players for the Bucs have basically came out and defended Antonio Brown and aren't necessarily taking sides with the coach. And Shannon Sharpe comes out here on Undisputed and says that the players are making excuses for Antonio Brown and not actually telling the truth about what happened because Antonio Brown is black. Take a look.
Okay, well then he went right back to mental health.
Right.
Brady has indicated mental health.
Right.
Agent is saying nothing to do with mental health. So it's impossible for us to know what it is, but a lot of people are giving him a pass for mental health when maybe he doesn't even deserve that.
No.
The agent's saying we don't want that.
No, a lot of people are giving him a pass because he's black. Let's be all the way real, because I see my timeline and they share it. And see, here's the problem. None of the black Buccaneer players can come out and say what BA said is true, because then they're going to get labeled Uncle Tom. They're going to get called a coon, because now, oh, you stick it up, you a slave to the white man. That's what's going to happen. That's what I'm getting, but I don't care. I'm just going by what I'm just telling you, having played 14 years in the league, knowing his history, I believe I don't know, Skip, I don't know really either one of the guys. Yeah, we had AB on the show one time. That's the only time I've ever met Antonio Brown in my life. I've never met BA. I'm just going by his history, AB's history, what I saw Sunday, what I've seen from BA and talking to people that have played under BA and been around BA. I believe it. I believe Antonio Brown reacted the way he did, not because his ankle was injured, but because he wasn't going to get the targets that he needed to get the incentives that he needed.
Yep.
And it's your own fault, because you got to ask yourself this. How can a man that averaged 114 catches, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns over 6 seasons, why is he playing for incentive-based contract anyway? That's the question you have to ask yourself. How did he put himself in that situation? Remember, Skip, he had $30 million on the table at the Oakland Raiders.
He did.
What dumb you know, Skip, would turn down $30 million in order to play for incentives? Now, I want somebody out there to tell me that on your job, they say, you know what? We got a job for you. We want to pay you $1 million.
Yep.
And you say, nah, I just want to work on an hourly wage. Where they do that at? Because that's what AB did.
He did.
AB turned down $30 million by acting like a jackass. He couldn't even get Skip. All you got to do is be on the roster come Tuesday. And you get the money guarantee because he's a vested player.
That is
He
correct.
couldn't even do that.
He could not.
And now he playing on incentives.
Yep.
And now he mad because he's not going to be able to reach the incentives because of something else he did, Skip. He got a fake vaccine card. And even though he went and got the vaccine, it was too late because you had already turned in the fake one.
Yep. I agree.
So that's my fault, Shannon. You reported about it. Shannon, why you keep trying to blame the black man down? Why he keep putting himself in that situation? My job is to talk about sports, sports-related issues. Antonio Brown is a football player. Well, he was until Sunday, until the Bucs released him. So I don't get it. They've seen this guy's behavior over the last 3 years. And I told you, Skip, there's nothing different about Antonio Brown over the last 6 years. The only thing different is, Skip, we got to see how he be acting behind the scenes.
That is
you
true.
saw it publicly.
Yeah, guys. So one of the rare instances where I actually agree with Shannon Sharpe, right? Where he gives a take that's not woke, that I 100% believe is true. AB is getting a pass from his teammates. He's getting a pass from some people in the media. He's just getting a pass in general. This whole mental health pass, which is a pass, because he's black, right? That's why. Because people don't want to just tell the truth about Antonio Brown, which is what I said in my initial reaction to this, is that the dude is just a bad person, right? In my opinion, okay? Dude came out literally after the game, after he left, and he said why he walked off the field. He said, I'm a super gremlin, right? I want to be a super gremlin, which means I'm somebody that wants to be known for mischievous behavior. He didn't say my ankle was injured. He didn't say they tried to force me to play on it. He didn't say any of that. That's not what he said. That came out maybe a day, maybe a few days later. He said, I want to be known for being mischievous, right? Super, super mischievous. I'm a gremlin. This is the guy that all these people going out here trying to give a pass to said, oh, it's because of mental health. You know, he needs help. When the reality is the dude has always been this way, even before that hit from Brontez Burfict, right? People keep saying Antonio Brown got CTE. I'm not saying whether he do or he don't. I don't know. But Antonio Brown denies that he has CTE, right? He says that it's impossible to know before, he actually dies, which is actually true. You don't know until the player can die whether or not he actually has CTE, but he's denying it. His agent said it ain't got nothing to do with mental health, right? So if they're saying that, then why in the world is everybody else out here saying that, oh, it's mental health. That's why he gets a pass for acting crazy. No, just call it what it is. Antonio Brown is an attention whore. He's an attention monger, okay? He wants to be in the spotlight, and he also, in that situation, was selfish because he cared more about getting paid, getting his incentives that he wouldn't have to play on, that incentive contract he wouldn't have to play on if it wasn't for his past behavior, but he cared more about getting his money than he did about actually helping his team win, okay? That's the reality of the situation. And for people to deny that, you're actually just incentivizing and promoting bad behavior. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And we see this all too often, right? Because somebody is black, right? Oh yeah, they get a pass. We can't go tough on them because they're black. Look at what happened with Juicy Smollett, right? There are a ton of people out there that even though they know that Juicy Smollett faked the hate crime, he made it up. He caused racial tension and division in this country unnecessarily to try to promote his own career. They know that. They say, oh, no, we can't talk about it. We don't want to talk about it because he's black, right? He's black and he's LGBTQ, so therefore we don't really want to talk about it. He gets a pass. They should go easy on him. Beyonce's mom came out and said, oh, no, they should go easy on him, right, with sentencing because he's black, okay? Guys, I had just did a story about a jury that refused to convict a man that has been accused of murder, okay? DNA evidence on the scene and everything. They refused to convict him because, well, we don't want to send a black man to jail. We don't want to send a black man to prison for a long time. They refused to cover stories like the Waukesha Christmas parade tragedy because the suspect was black. They refused to cover the story about the Texas high school shooter shooting up a classroom, putting another black student in the hospital, probably won't ever be able to function normally for the rest of his life because he's black. We see it happen all the time, guys. We see it happen all the time. People getting passes because of their race, right? Because of their race. And these are the same people that will come out here and talk about white privilege this, white privilege that, when every time I look, we're not talking about real issues and horrible crimes and violence because the suspects involved aren't white, right? We see it happen all the time. Chicago, nobody talks about that because most of the people committing those crimes aren't white. So they don't talk about it. They don't care about it. But if it was a white person doing it, it would be front page news, right? I guarantee you, if Antonio Brown was white, he wouldn't be getting a mental health pass. They would be saying, oh, no, this guy, he's just selfish, right? He's selfish. He's a bad guy. He's a bad dude, right? That's what they'd be saying. But Antonio Brown, no, his mental health. He's mentally ill. Look, all I'm saying is this. Not calling out people for bad behavior because of their race, regardless of whether you're black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever, right? All you're doing is just promoting more of that behavior, right? That's what you're doing. You're not helping that person, right? You're not fixing the problem. You're really making the problem worse. And that's my big problem with this. None of these people are actually helping Antonio Brown when they don't actually really just call him out for what he's doing, right? He was selfish, and the dude is just not a good guy, right? He's just not a good guy, period. So, for once in my life, I actually agree with Woke Shay with a not woke take that he gave in regards to this whole AB situation, because he's right. If anybody comes out and criticizes AB, they're going to get on him and say, oh, you going after a black man, you're not giving him a pass, you're not supposed to do that, you a Uncle Tom, you a sellout, you blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what people would do. That's exactly what people would do, because we've seen it all too often, right? You see it all too often. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.